Hey there. Hey guys. Thanks for joining me. We'll get started in a second. Let some more people in here. Hey everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Raymond, Barbara, Felicia, user so many names. Chris, Smiles, Chula. Hello. Hey everybody. Thanks for joining me. Yes, please hit those likes so we get more people in here. And follow me if you haven't already. But yeah, let's keep it going. Hey Sherry, how are you? Nicole, sister, we got so much to talk about tonight, guys. Yeah, keep hitting the like button so we get more people in here, please. Thank you. And we'll see how many people we get. We were getting a few hundred. Hey Leslie, before the election. We'll see what happens now. Hey Anne. Hey Chaotic Garden. Don't worry, be happy, I assume. Rhonda, Francis, thank you. Hit those likes, Let's keep it coming. We got 54 people in here already. This is great. Hey, Jeff. Hey, April. John Boy's back. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Carol, hello. Don't worry, be happy. Drew, hello. All right, we got 140 people in here. Please keep hitting those like buttons if you want to bring more people in here, and please follow me if you're just finding me first time. My name is Tim Fullerton. I am a political/business person, I guess is the way I would describe myself now. I was in the Obama administration for 5 years. I was on his first campaign. I was also a White Dudes for Harris organizer. So tonight is the first time that I have come back on here since that election last week that did not go the way that any of us, well, at least most of us, wanted to go. I hope you all have been taking care of yourselves and have been taking some time away from politics and taking some time away from TikTok probably too, to sort of regroup. And Nicole, I'm doing well. I hope you are too. And there's just a lot to talk about. I want to make sure everybody here is okay, first of all. Jacob, we're not going to do insults in here. And if, real men don't come in and gloat. You don't. So this isn't the place for you. So real men don't come in and gloat. You don't. So this isn't the place for you. So, I'm sure some MAGA person gave you that line to write, which is really funny. As we know, conservatives are all hilarious with their no comedy shows. So if you want to gloat, I didn't come into MAGA chats in 2020. As we know, conservatives are all hilarious with their no comedy shows. So if you want to gloat, I didn't come into MAGA chats in 2020 when Biden beat the shit out of Trump. So yeah, let's not do that, okay? So anyways, obviously, and if you do it again, you're out. So there you go. John Boy, thank you. Okay, there you go. That is a respectful response. I can handle that. So John Boy, thank you for that, and congratulations to you. Real men stand for life. That's right. The people who don't push for extreme abortion laws that are killing pregnant women. That is right. So anyways, 445. Wow. Okay. Please follow me if you haven't. And hit that like button. Yeah, Missouri, it's just what they do. So anyways, things are bad. I don't want to sugarcoat that at all. But I've had some time to think about it. David, look it up. There's a woman that just was confirmed she got denied from 2 emergency rooms, and then the third one, they waited till the absolute last minute, and she died because they didn't want to do a DNC, because they didn't want to go to jail. This is also why physicians are leaving red states, because they don't want to be subjected to any of this. So what do we do now? Which is a question that I've been thinking about. And, there's a lot of things I think we can do. First of all, our policy issues did very, very well. No, it hasn't been debunked. There have been several women. There will be more women to show. Also, infant mortality rates and stillbirths have skyrocketed in Texas. You can look that up too. It is a fact. How many votes does Congress need to have to reinstate the draft? Oh, I don't know. I don't think you have to worry about that one though. So anyways, sorry, I'm just reading. All right, Charlie, you're gone because I asked you for respect and you chose not to. So you are going to go. Sorry, I am fine for respectful people that we disagree with, but not people who seem to think that they need to shove it in their face. So I'm going to talk about this recount thing Francis mentioned. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions and misunderstanding about how we count votes and the issues that happen during counts. So first of all, a lot of people have been saying, where were the 15 million Joe Biden votes? Well, the reality is that we haven't stopped counting yet, and there are still millions of ballots to count. They will not swing the election, but there is a process to do that. The other thing is that people keep saying their votes weren't recorded. Well, first of all, if you voted in person, there won't be a record. That's only for mail-in ballots. And second of all, like I said, they're still counting. So some of those mail-in ballots haven't even been counted yet. So, but the reality is, like, we lost. We lost. There is no conspiracy. There are paper ballots for all of these. Each election commission does spot checking with paper ballots to make sure they're matching up with the machines. So there is no conspiracy here. I hate to break it to you folks. We just lost. The Starlink thing sounds like a good conspiracy, but it's not, because again, every state is spot checking their mail-in ballots, or excuse me, their paper ballots with the machine to make sure that the tallies are accurate. Also, most of the battleground states are run by Democrats. So, Tina, why are you talking about Kamala Harris? She lost. What, like, are you still running? You guys won. I know it's hard to, I know it's hard to stop, but you won. But anyways, so there is no fraud that we can find, and the Starlink thing isn't really a thing. I know people are trying to say that it is, some big accounts in particular, which is deeply concerning to me. But let's not turn into the Trump voters in 2020. Like, which also you notice that, like, they didn't say anything about voter fraud this time around, right? But last time it was rife with it. So it's just really funny. Thank you. Who said that? Thank you, Daniel. Daniel? Sorry, I can't see names. My reading is not so great. There isn't fraud. I'm sorry. There may be some isolated incidents. It is impossible to create large-scale voter fraud. The way that our ballots are counted and spot checked over and over again. So let's just, I know we want it to be true because we don't want the outcome to be what the outcome is, but that is the reason. Why am I so sure? Because Democrats are running all these elections, and there are processes in place to make sure that the digital records match the paper records. And there is no incentive for the Democrats to lie about that. There's just not. Because the Starlink issue is not an issue. I keep telling, it's not. And then people will point to, I'm sorry, Carol, but it is true. And I think we need to be real about it, because we can't turn into them. We can't. Bomb threats need to be investigated. It's 100% right. And some of those appear to come from Russia. So, Rock Crusher, it's so funny. MAGAs it is impossible for them to be respectful. It's just, I try to ask, but some of them just didn't, look, Dylan, I'll address this on the prime. So look, there's a bunch of, let's talk about some of the reasons that we lost and why, and how we could potentially fix that moving forward. So first of all, I don't blame Kamala Harris for anything. I think she ran a very good campaign. She got thrown into this in the middle of July. It's a real problem. The left is not as disrespectful. Also, you guys tried to storm the Capitol and kill people, so please dial it down. You guys tried to storm the Capitol and kill people, so please dial it down. Anyways, look, this investigation stuff, guys, listen, there are so many checks involved in this process. You can't go from trusting the system 4 years ago and now saying that you don't trust it. Come on. Let's think this through. She only had 105 days to get ready. That is not a lot of time to build a whole movement. All campaigns end in the red. In the red. They all lose money. So that's not really a criticism either. But anyways, someone just called me a POS for being rude. Well, goodbye. You can leave. So let's get, sorry, there are so many questions in here, which is awesome. But yes, I don't blame Kamala Harris for anything. I think she was put in an unfair situation. And I'm going to say some things that may upset people. Well, I guess I already have the fraud thing, but we have to have honest conversations with Democrats about Matt, it's not even close to the same. We don't have an ecosystem of large influencers and media guys telling us every day how bad you guys are. You have that every day telling you how bad we are. That's one difference. So look, this is going to hurt, guys, but we were lied to about Joe Biden's health. We were. I didn't think that he was in that state. And then we saw the debate, and that was definitely not the first time that had happened to him. And we have to be honest with ourselves about that. And I want to know why the Biden inner circle didn't tell, oh my God, there's still people talking about 2020 fraud. Guys, let it go. It's over. We were not told the situation that it was. And I'm not saying his mind isn't there, but he has no ability to communicate. And it killed like that. The election essentially probably was lost right then. So there's that. And I hate it because I actually think he's been a fantastic president. No, Biden runs the country. I'm not saying he's an invalid. I'm just saying that, and you guys, Ronald Reagan straight up had Alzheimer's in office, but I don't see anybody talking about that. So it's put Kamala at a disadvantage. And look, we rightly talk about election interference, protecting the right to vote, all of these things, and democracy, right? And then because of the situation we were in, we weren't able to have a primary, which fed into the narrative that we say one thing and do another. Now, there was no way to run a primary in July. It was not possible, and I don't think any Democrats would have run it anyways. I think they just would have said Kamala and been done with it. But it fed into this narrative, and I think that's a really, really hard thing. And it wasn't her fault. It really, really wasn't. And, I think building a movement in 3 months, the way she did it was incredibly impressive. I don't think there were fed into the narrative that we say one thing and do another. And I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. We ran in 2008 on holding people accountable for the Wall Street crash, and not a single person got prosecuted. Not a single person went in jail for losing billions and billions of dollars and destroying people's livelihoods. It goes back that far. And I was in that administration, and it was wrong. We did not go after anybody. Then, when the coup attempt happened, Merrick Garland did not move fast enough to go after Donald Trump for the clear incitement of a riot and the violation of the Constitution that he did. And so when we say we're going to hold people accountable, then we don't. We don't. Let's be honest here. We don't. We are better on policy. We are better, we care about more people. All of these things are true. But there are certain things to a world that does not pay attention to this because they don't have a lot of time, right? Most people think about politics for less than 5 minutes a day. Jacob, come on, man. I'm trying to actually have an honest conversation here, and you just can't stop shoving it in people's faces. You're an adult. Please be that way or I'm going to kick you out. You won. You keep doing it. Okay, one more and you're out. Let's see if you do it. I lost my train of thought because I kept seeing these. Oh, okay. You guys everyone who puts that Trump thing in is blocked. I warned you, I'm trying to have an honest conversation in which I am welcoming MAGAs as well, and they can't even sit and listen. And you keep saying Trump 2024, you won. So do I think Harris will run again? If she does, she's not gonna. I don't think she'll be a candidate again. Why are they paying the bots still? They won. I'm an establishment shill partisan hack where I am sitting here saying people lied to us about Joe Biden's health and that the not having a primary hurt us and not prosecuting people after the financial collapse in 2008. I'm a shill. Oh man. So anyways, thank you, Aftermath. I appreciate that. So let's talk more. So I think we have a credibility problem, and not intentionally. When I say lying or didn't do things, Jacob couldn't even handle it. He couldn't do it. He had to actually get worse. So he's gone now. I'm trying to have a real conversation with folks, and it's shocking to me that there are still Trump people who can't actually just listen to me admitting how we screwed up. Yeah, so anyways, I'm trying to... Yeah, the inmates have taken on this. Yeah, well, sorry, Richard, I'm trying to read because there's also good stuff in here. But anyways, and also I'll just say, if you want, there's a great conversation here going. So if you like this, please hit the likes. Let's get more people in here. Also, if you have not followed me, please, please, please follow me so that we can keep these conversations going in the future. And I'm also going to talk about some work that I'm about to launch this week too. So anyways, I think we need to have a reassessment as a party. And I think that we need to stop like listening to our super rich donors, because I think most people look at us and they look at the Republicans and they say, well, you talk a good game, but then you don't prosecute anybody and you take all this money from Wall Street and you take all this money from rich people. Those guys at least tell you what they're going to do. You know, like, I think the inauthenticity part is what kills us. And I think we have to be honest with that. I mean, you look at the demographics across the country and where Donald Trump gained. He gained everywhere except for white Jewish women and black women. And white men stayed about the same. We got hammered by Latinos and everybody else. So we have to come to grips with that. And I'm a guy, by the way, I was a Obama guy in 2008. I was in 2012. I was a Hillary person in 2016. I was a Biden person in 2020, though I did support Elizabeth Warren at first. So I'm not some sort of like left-wing Bernie person. Like, I'm telling you this as somebody who has lived in the establishment most of my life. I was the chief digital officer for Andrew Cuomo for a year and a half. And so, like, I hope people are listening. The Diddy thing is nothing. I do not worry about the Diddy thing. So, you guys, it's so funny. The Republican MAGA people in here still can't just stop. They are so trained to attack, they can't even listen. And I think part of the problem is that there is a conservative ecosystem of media where you can live in it forever and never hear from somebody like me, except on these lives, which is part of the reason I do it. You'll hear from Ben Shapiro. You'll hear from Ted Cruz has a podcast. You know, and the conservative donors give them millions and millions of dollars to do this. Democrats don't do that. No, they can't engage in a normal conversation. It is not possible. What am I lying about? Oh my God. Why is Russia still paying for the bots? They just got what they wanted. Or maybe it's the condescending tone. So I want to talk about that. And first of all, I don't think that Kamala Harris or Tim Walz ever talked down to anyone, but that conservative ecosystem has told their people forever that that's what happens. I mean, I can't even get a word in here and the MAGA people are just screaming and yelling. So if you tell me like who's condescending or who is going after people, all you got to do is look at the chat here. Like, I'm trying, like, John Boy came in, said something very respectful. He's somebody that is very conservative. Dylan's on here, who's very conservative. That here. Like, I'm trying, like, John Boy came in, said something very respectful. He's somebody that is very conservative. Dylan's on here, who's very conservative. Have no problem with. I'm trying to, like, actually have a real conversation because we don't have these conversations. Republicans and Democrats don't talk to each other. Even though I would bet you that most of Republicans and Democrats, as far as regular everyday issues, I bet we agree at least 50, if not 60% of the time, if not more, on the simple things. Not the big hot button issues because they get blown up and then there's like all kinds of wars about them. But, you know, and I'm not trying to move the Democrats to the middle or anything like that. I don't mean that. I just mean we need to talk about these things because it's a real problem. So, wait, did you say Marco Rubio was good at politics? Oh man, did someone say that? But anyways, I was going to laugh at that. But look, Republicans have become a party of super rich people and the working class. We have become the party of college-educated people and moderately wealthy people. That doesn't work. There are not enough of us to do that. We have to find new ways to communicate with people, and we can't shout people down when they only agree with us 90% of the time. I'm not saying all college-educated. I'm just saying if you look at the demographics, Democrats won college-educated voters. That's true. But on 50,000 and less, we got absolutely murdered. Absolutely murdered. Democrats do not have the most millionaires. Come on, man. You got the richest man in the world. You've got the Sheldon Adelson family. You've got all these billionaires funding you. What you guys talk about? George Soros. Like, come on. At least own it. But anyways, I've lost my train of thought. Oprah, yeah. But Oprah's like yeah. More billionaires are not Dems. Oof, what is going on here? If that was true, wouldn't Jeff Bezos had run that endorsement for Kamala Harris instead of pulling it? Or the guy who owns the LA Times when they yanked that endorsement? Those are two billionaires that made media editorial decisions over their reporters and their writers for their own best interests. And Richard, you make a very good point. Oprah is a registered independent. And we are the party of African-American voters. You're right. You're right. We did lose a little bit with black men, though. So we have to look at all this, and we have to say, why are so many people, and Gen Z, the youth turnout, we won it, but we didn't win it by as much as Biden won it in 2020. And there's a whole host of issues, right? Israel, Gaza, real problem. I think that Biden's policy, I know what he was trying to do, but it was incoherent at best. Bibi just kept walking over him, and we kept putting red lines, and he just kept stepping over him. He didn't do anything. We looked weak. And look, Donald Trump is not strong. I think he's actually a very weak man, but he projects that way, right? Black and white, and there is a segment of the population that respects that, regardless of him being a rapist and, has violated his oath to the Constitution 100 times and is a vile human being. But we have to wonder, why are we losing ground to these people? I'm not making excuses for his behavior. I am trying to explain why people support him from a democratic perspective. I don't want any of this to be true. Vanessa, thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Jesse, you're right. We have to stop playing by the old world rules. We need a democratic, liberal, progressive, however you want to call it, ecosystem the same way that the right does. Because we're getting killed. And they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on these horrible, horrible people like Benny Johnson and Tim Pool and stuff are getting paid $400,000 a month to spew lies and nonsense, to back up a whole system that is also saying the same things. And I believe that the MAGA people who are in here truly believe the things that they are saying. But they're in an ecosystem, and they're just being fed that. And it's a real problem. And we have to solve this, because we are, at Giselle, thank you for these hearts or roses, thank you very much. And we have to grapple with that. And some of this is, and sorry, I'm missing a lot of the chat here, guys, because there's 400 people in here, which is really, really amazing. So keep hitting that likes and also the follows. Sorry, I'm seeing. What happens if the world gets better? Well, prove us wrong. Now is his opportunity. He has everything. So make the world better. End the war in Ukraine peacefully. Bring down mortgage rates. Bring down costs, which, by the way, the inflation started with Trump, but, I know we're past that. Show us we're wrong. I am so ready to be wrong, because that would mean we are all doing better. So show me. Show me that we're doing better. Now, the tariffs will not be better. That's for sure. But let's see if he actually follows through with anything. Hopefully he doesn't do the mass deportations, which would be economically disastrous, also morally bankrupt. You've been wrong. Why aren't you running the country? Do you want me to announce my candidacy for the 2028 Democratic nomination for president here? I don't think I'm the right person. So anyways, Obama had the worst recovery in history, according to Forbes. We had the longest sustained period of economic growth in history, so I'm not sure how that checked out. But how can he possibly deport millions? I mean, it will cost $1 trillion to get them all out. And it will destroy the economy, because then there go all the people who pick our fruits and vegetables. There go all the people who work in the restaurants. There are all the people who work in construction on the lower ends. So I don't think he really will, because I don't think he actually can. But he's going to try. He's going to try. Do we have the infrastructure? No, we don't. Unless we turn the entire country into a police state and just go after mostly people who are doing nothing wrong, which seems like a really stupid thing to do. But he's done a lot of stupid things in the past, like torpedoing our economy and being the only president in history to lose jobs in a first term. Also, fun fact, undocumented workers contribute $85 billion per year to Social Security and Medicare. So that will all of a sudden disappear as well, which means that Social Security is going to run out of money in 6 years if he was actually to do that, instead of the 11 that we have to try to figure out this problem. Also, Venezuela won't take back any of their undocumented, so I don't know where they actually think these people are going to go when the countries don't let them back. But anyways, the intelligent people have spoken. Trump, yeah. Most of the by the way, most of the people who voted for Trump don't believe the things he says. So it's going to be really interesting when he starts deporting people, and all these people said, "Oh, he won't deport us because we're good, hardworking people." And it's like, no, you are the target. You are the target. So, anyways, no, they have not been running out of money every 6 years. It has gone from like 30 years when we were talking about it in the Bush and Al Gore debates. Remember Lockbox, anybody? Which was in 2000, which was 24 years ago. And now we have 6 years left. Like, this has been building for a long time. Didn't W steal from Social Security? He tried to privatize it. And luckily Congress said, hell no, because it's a stupid idea. Who are all these people, Tim? Which people? Sorry, there's a lot going on in here. It's going to be 4+ years if I told you so and you voted for that. Sam, yeah. I think the challenge, though, is how do we do that in a way that welcomes them back? Because all scorn and screaming at people pushes them further into whatever camp they're in. So I don't want us to be stomping around and being like, see, because generally that means that everything is terrible. And we need to welcome these people back if we have any chance of winning in 2028. I'll be very honest about that. We do have to find some middle ground. People keep asking me, President Obama's reign is ending. You know, he's been out of the White House for 8 years now. You guys think he runs a Biden or something. And by the way, they don't really get along anymore. So, like, that's a silly proposition. Like, there's not a lot of love there right now. So it's a funny conspiracy for right-wingers to say, but he's in the shadow. He's not. I can tell you he's not. Anyways, so who do I think will run in 2028? Dylan, the answer is everybody, probably. I mean, people are already fielding calls right now. I've heard Pete Buttigieg. I've heard Gavin Newsom, which I do not want, even though I like him as governor. I've heard Shapiro, Bashir in Kentucky. Not Ben Shapiro. No, Governor Bashir in Kentucky. Not Ben Shapiro. No, Governor Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Let's see. Most domestic drilling done by Biden. Yeah, it's true. We have more oil and gas production than we've ever had in U.S. history. I like Shapiro. I think he's really good. Gavin, yeah. I also the slickness and like I don't think that's what we need. Josh Shapiro. I don't know why couldn't remember his name. We don't import any votes. No undocumented workers vote. It's so funny that you guys believe that. There's no evidence that has ever happened in any sort of numbers whatsoever. There have been handfuls of people who have tried, and guess what? Our process stops them from doing that. J.D. Vance is the real deal. Do you think he'll still wear eyeliner as vice president? Dylan, I don't know. I mean, look at it this way. He went campaign hard for her in Pennsylvania, and she still lost by 3.5 points, something like that, 3 points, something. I don't know if he would swing that many votes, but I hear what you're saying. I've heard Tim Walz as a candidate. What's wrong with eyeliner? Nothing. I think all men should be able to wear eyeliner. I don't care. Let's see. So, I love it. All the MAGAs are mad about that. You fell into my trap. I don't give a shit what people wear. But you guys are the ones that are always making fun of people for what they look like. So I just think it's funny because fell right into that. And you immediately had to defend it. But most of you can't stand trans people and don't want them to have the same rights as everybody else. So it's really funny that you're defending a guy with eyeliner. But anyways. Oh, Dylan. Okay, so I want to talk about something that I am going to do, and then we can come back to questions. What rights do trans people not have? Well, you want to block them from using the bathroom of which the gender they identify with. That's one. So soy overload. It's so funny. You, oh, anyways, nah, I'll let the comments go. It's fine. So anyways, I do have children, Mel, and I don't give a shit about trans people using the bathroom they identify with because it's not a problem. They're just going to the bathroom. And if you were really worried about kids, you'd be going after priests, not trans people. So spare me the outrage. I'm sorry. Because give me a break. So I mentioned the needing to create a progressive media apparatus, democratic, to get our message out. And I am doing my small piece of that starting on Wednesday. I am launching a podcast and media channel called Politigood. Starting on Wednesday, I am launching a podcast and media channel called Politigood. It is politigoodpod.com is the address. It's not quite ready yet, but you can go check it out if you want. And we're going to be doing a podcast every other week. And the first one is going to be with the White Dudes for Harris organizers, of which I'm one. And we're going to be talking about all this stuff and the things that we need to do moving forward. Trump. That's pretty clever. I like that. If you would all, I would love for you to subscribe. It's going to be on every place that you can listen to podcasts. My YouTube channel will be where the video of this lives. So if you go to my name, youtube.com/@TimFullerton and subscribe, it will be there and you can watch it there, or you can subscribe to it anyway. We're also going to have memberships if people want to support, because this is not free what we're doing. I think what we're doing $5 a month get you some extra perks along with this, and just supporting it because it does take up a decent amount of money. And there's a higher level too, but you can see all that. But we'll launch on Wednesday, and it would mean a lot to me if you go subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can see it there. It's free. The video and the audio will always be free, and then we'll do extra things like we're going to be, writing some articles about particular topics and doing live chats and things for members. So we're going to be doing all that. So I would appreciate the support. Okay. And let's see. So I'm actually in my pitch. I just lost like 100 people. So no one wanted to hear that apparently. But if you haven't followed me, please follow me here. I'm not going anywhere. But like this conversation that I'm having now is going to be the types of conversations that I have on my podcast in a much longer format. Probably they'll be between 30 and 60 minutes total. So anyways, that's my pitch. How long have we been going? Oh, a little while now. Let's see. Do you hate conservatism? I don't hate anybody. But if you're talking about conservatism as far as a fiscal policy and a principle in general, I don't agree with it, but I don't hate it. But what I hate is the demonization of people. That's what I... Did I make a transphobic comment on my... I didn't make a transphobic comment. What are you talking about? So Trump will protect your children. Well, unless he's in the room with them, right? Yeah, no, I didn't. If someone thinks I made a transphobic comment, please tell me what I said, because I did not mean to do that. So if I did, that was a slip of the tongue, but I don't think I did. Anyways, I am only 21. How the hell did the Republican Party become so extreme? Okay, I didn't. Thank you. 21-year-old, I'm sorry I missed your name already because it's already flown by. Donald Trump. And the media ecosystem that they have created. Because now that they can just sit in their echo chamber and not listen to anybody else. And then that just, and with social media and the way algorithms work, to keep people's interest, you have to keep saying more and more aggressive stuff, more out there stuff to keep you at the top. So there's been a whole system built on that. And then Donald Trump comes along and says the quiet part that Republicans mostly think internally out loud. And they found out it was okay to do it. And so this is partially where we are. And I don't think that we have done a good job pushing back on it. I don't think the justice system has fully prosecuted the people who are doing terrible things across the country the right way. So, Yeah. Oh, wow. We've got porn bots in here. I don't think I've ever seen those before. I'm going to try to get rid of some of that. Anthony, I think there is some echo chamber. I mean, and I think social media makes it worse, right? Because you just see more and more of the stuff you agree with. And they take out the stuff that you don't pay attention to. But like that stuff matters. To be able to see other people's opinions matter on both sides. That's why I think we're so separated. If I was in Congress, I would pass a law, or I would advocate for a law that required all social media channels, they could have their algorithm, but you could choose to have a straight chronological feed. So you see whatever comes up most recently, whether it's your friend, your close friend that you are ideologically aligned with, or somebody that you're not aligned with, you would see all of it. Because I think that would help a lot if we saw everybody's perspective and opinions and had conversations around it. Because now, like when I tell somebody that border crossings are lower now under Joe Biden than they were during Donald Trump, the MAGAs don't believe me, even though the evidence is there, and they won't go look it up. Because they've been told over and over again that migrants are spilling across the border, they're raping and killing people, and sorry, that's probably going to shut down my algorithm. Shoot for saying those words, but it did. And they won't listen because they've been told for years that that's happening, even though it's not. Undocumented workers or undocumented people in general commit crimes at about 1/4 the rate of an American citizen. So like, it's not a real thing. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And that's what Republicans are really good at, is taking isolated incidents and making it seem like it was huge. So, no, they don't watch the news, but they listen to Joe Rogan, and they watch that awful guy, Matt Walsh, and like all these people who are telling them that Democrats are the problem. Where do you do your research? I literally look it up. You can look at border crossings. They could show you. Immigration is good for the economy. I agree 100%. Then why don't they talk about other borders? I don't know. India Kamala. Okay, we don't do racism. I don't know. India Kamala. Okay, we don't do racism. So you're gone. Like, why are people so hateful? Like, what is the problem? Like, God, it's just like, so frustrating. Being here illegally is a crime which makes them all guilty of breaking the law. Have you ever jaywalked? Or done anything like ridden a car without a seatbelt? Littered? You're committed a crime as well. I bet all American citizens have committed a crime at some point. So that doesn't really work for me. I know the reasons, Eileen. I know. Yeah, it's fine for Canadians to come in whenever they want, right? But we don't want the Mexican ones to come in. See, illegally coming here illegally is different. Like, it's just different. Americans can do that. That's fine. But like, what is your advice for teachers? I'm so nervous what's to come. Just be there for your students. My mom is a first grade teacher for 35 years. Just be there for them. Show them kindness, and hopefully it will rub off on them. It is a sin. Well, yeah, I guess if you believe in God, but I don't, so that doesn't really affect me. Everybody came here illegally, right? Someone in their family came here illegally. Elon Musk, that's a great point, Looker. Elon Musk came here illegally, stayed past his visa. He should be kicked out, right? Can all MAGAs here say right now that they agree that Elon Musk should be kicked out of the country with a new port policy? I assume you will say yes, right? Let's see it. No. Yep. Okay, there's one. Nope. There's a nope. Laws don't. Yep. Nope. Yes. They will never say that. Yes. Okay. Well, Dylan, but what? It shouldn't matter, right? Like, you want all undocumented workers deported, right? So Elon has to go, right? Melania lied on her visa, so she should go too, right? So we all agree that Melania and Elon should be deported, right? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses, but I don't know if these are the Republicans or not. But Ashton, yeah, he overstayed his visa, broke the law. It was widely reported. You can Google it. There's a bunch of sources on it. So, Mike, but they weren't. They're illegal now, but they broke the law. They shouldn't have gotten that, right? We shouldn't be giving opportunities to people who broke the law to become citizens, right? Oh, but okay, so but you agree though that they broke the law and they should be deported. Yeah, see, we're gonna get the hypocrisy. Where is Megan? Who's Megan? Dylan. Sorry, I'm having a hard time following all this because there's so many. This is great. Yeah, I know. This is really about the southern border. It's not really about anybody else, is it? You don't care if somebody from Norway sneaks in, right? So the problem with the deportations is that we're going to lose money in the process. Like, read faster. Yeah, I'm trying. My thinking and my reading are not lining up. Let's talk tariffs. Let's do it. So Donald Trump wants to put 20% tariffs on everything coming from China. And it seems that most MAGAs don't understand who pays for the tariffs. It's not China. It's the companies who have to sell the goods. And there's wide reports that companies, Columbia Sportswear is one of them, they're already raising prices because they know the tariffs are coming. Well, why does it matter if there's a large population coming from Norway or not? You don't want any of them. Does it just matter if there's like 1 million Mexicans but only 5 Norwegians, so the Norwegians are fine because there's not that many of them? Is that how this works? AutoZone increased prices. Talk of no bonuses at Christmas because they have to save money for the tariffs. Eileen, you're right. Like tariffs and deportations will tank the economy. Yeah, Laurie, that's a good idea. Temu prices will go up from $1 to $1.20, I guess. I don't know. I have never bought anything on there. Morgan, hello. It's good to see you too. I hope you're doing all right. A company would never preemptively raise their prices. Well, Google it. Google Columbia, for example. The big outerwear company. They've already said they're talking about doing it. Ashton, that's fine. I can respect that. I don't agree with it. That's fine. I'm fine with people coming in here and saying that stuff. It's just the people who are like insults and like whatever that I can't. I'm not letting random people join this. Sorry, someone just wanted to co-host this with me. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Yeah, the gas industry preemptively raises prices all the time. Yep. Tigers, I'm sorry. So they said they're worried about losing their health care and their disability, and because in Project 2025, a lot of that gets taken away. Yeah, so anyways, let's see. What else we got here? How about the 60%? Yeah, I mean, I spent the entire day working on prices cause of tariffs. Oh, man, Lauren, that doesn't sound particularly fun. Jasmine says, I'm scared about education. Yeah, they want to eliminate the Department of Education, which basically makes sure that our education system is as equal as possible around the country. And also make sure that people aren't being discriminated against and all these things, and they want to get away with that. Should babies be allowed in school if pride flags are? I don't even understand the question. My body, my choice. Yeah, notice how there was a lot of MAGA influencers out there saying this horrible thing, your body, my choice. These are the people who just are happy that Donald Trump won. And I hope that some of the... Oh, Bibles? No, Bibles should not be allowed in because we have separation of church and state in this country. And a pride flag is not a religious thing. It is an acceptance of a people for who they are. So no Bibles. No 10 Commandments. None of that. Are you affiliated with the Pod Save America crew? No, Vanessa, I'm not. I'll be doing my own thing with the Politigood podcast. They were in the White House when I was at the Interior Department in the Obama administration, but I don't really know them. So no, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. How can you get rid of DOA? I think they'd have to pass a law. I don't think they can EO. They can't executive order that, I don't think. Can we talk about RFK Jr. being health czar? Yeah, it's actually one of the scariest things about a Trump administration. He wants to take fluoride out of water, which has been making our teeth not fall out of our faces for 70 years. He believes that vaccines cause autism, which it does not. He thinks that there are too many vaccines, but he has no evidence to back up why he thinks that. He thinks that there's stuff in our food that is bad, but no one's been able to point to any of that either. And he's not a doctor. He's not a medical professional. And frankly, he, 10 years ago, in front of a judge, said that he was cognitively impaired by a worm eating part of his brain so that he could get out of paying spousal support for his wife. So 10 years ago, he said he was cognitively impaired, and now he's over 70, and he's going to be in charge of our public health. That should scare everybody. Everybody. And if you were worried about Joe Biden talking, RFK Jr. can't speak very well either. And what are his credentials? Nothing. He's a lawyer. That's it. Stephen Miller just was appointed deputy chief of staff. He is a horrible, horrible racist human being and very, very cruel. But yeah, the whole issue with RFK is really, really scary. He doesn't understand the things he talks about. And if you even ask, Stephen Miller is awesome. He's the cruelest man on earth. RFK Jr. is a narcissist. Can I say anything good about Trump? No. No, I can't. Because he's never done anything good. He's an evil, vindictive man. He has sexually assaulted women. He has stolen money from nonprofits. He doesn't pay his workers. The reason New York hates him is because he never pays anybody who does any work for him. It's not TDS. These are facts. He's a bad man. I mean, I guess the one thing that happened in the Trump administration that I will say is that they raised the legal age for smoking cigarettes from 18 to 21. I'll give them that. So I guess you got your one. Trump will make your life better. Yeah, you keep being told that, but how? James, I want to know, how is Trump going to make my life better? Let's see if you can actually put some meat on that statement. I bet you can't. Well, Red Light, the reality is he signed the law. So, it was under his. I'm a minority. Okay. I haven't seen why Donald Trump's going to make my life better. None of you can do it. Hey, Lily. Yeah, it's so funny. The magas disappear when I ask how they're going to make my life better. Abrumi, I hear you. I'm scared about it too. Tom Homan is a horrible person, and he is the border czar now. Well, seeing how that he has almost single-handedly caused anti-vaxxism to explode in this country, which has caused people to die, I don't feel bad about that. Does that answer your question? Best economy ever under Trump. He lost 2.9 million jobs in his term. His tax cuts didn't stimulate the economy. He rode the Obama economy the whole way until he screwed it up. Yeah, no one in here telling me how Donald Trump's going to make my life better. Just Trump won and shut up. It's because they don't know. They don't know. Dylan, how is he going to make my life better? I trust you. Let's hear it. Yeah, the Obama economy. Look at GDP growth under Obama and then watch it under Trump. It's a straight line this way. It doesn't move until COVID. And then he screwed that up so bad and made it infinitely worse. Let's see. Yeah, Trump won. I know Trump won. That's what we've been talking about. He did lose 2.9 million jobs. I don't know how you guys can't believe the actual reality. He did. And Joe Biden created 18 million. Since 1988, Democrats have created about 51 million jobs, and Republicans have created 1 million jobs. Again, facts. Just look it up. Job growth by president. Google it. Blah, blah. Yeah, I'm named Dylan. That's what you say when you don't have a response. I don't lie. Look it up. Leroy, look it up. I think you'll be shocked. Notice Bill Clinton actually made that statement at the DNC, and Republicans didn't say anything. Do you want to know why? Because it's true. Otherwise, there would have been a freak out about it, but there wasn't, because they knew they didn't have any numbers to back it up. All government jobs. Nope. Look at the breakdowns on BLS every month. Let's see. There's a fair amount, Misha. Oh, hello from Uvalde. Hello. I hope you guys are doing okay. Yeah, none of them will look it up. They're going to get rid of $2 trillion, and they're going to get rid of $2 trillion in the economy. How? Without destroying the economy. How does taking $2 trillion out of the economy help the economy? We keep trying tax cuts, and it never stimulates the economy. Do you know what stimulates the economy? Putting money into the economy. We know this over and over again. Like gas. It's true. Biden got us out of COVID. Highest grocery prices ever under Biden. Do you know why? Because the world opened back up, and there was a demand for goods, and there's a demand for supply, too much supply, or not enough supply, excuse me, and prices skyrocketed. Our inflation right now is at 2%, 2.1%, something like that. The lowest of any of those Western worlds. We came out of COVID the best of anybody. But you can't accept it, because that would blow up your whole worldview. So, do you believe in saying that they don't see the effects of the presidency until next term? No, I don't, because you can see in the Inflation Reduction Act was passed 2 years ago, right at the peak of inflation. Right after that bill was passed and started to be implemented, inflation started to spiral down. So I understand that it takes a long time for some of this. And yes, there will be Biden effects in the Trump administration that will probably make Trump look good. But there were effects that were happening in this administration that resulted in positives as well. Let me ask you, what failures did the Biden administration incur? Israel, Gaza. They did not articulate a clear vision there. They let Israel run wild. And no real pushback on Benjamin Netanyahu, who is running this war so he doesn't have to go to jail. I don't think Merrick Garland was good. Southern border? Well, we had a bipartisan border deal that Donald Trump killed, which would have put 1,500 border agents on the border. And then he said no wars under Trump. He droned more people in 4 years than Biden did, or than Obama did in 8. And you're saying that there were no wars. He also negotiated a truce with the Taliban and let go 5,000 Taliban soldiers. So, anyways, well, I've been on for about an hour, so I think our government always will be for Israel, but they also shouldn't be letting Israel bomb places that they told Palestinians they'd be safe in. That's what I think. Oh, they're saying Google is liberal propaganda. I mean, anything that doesn't fit their worldview is not real. Anyways, guys, there's so many people in here. This is really, really great. If you haven't followed me, please follow me here. I'm super glad we did this. I have Google. How does Google lean left? That's an algorithm that's based on search. If you understand SEO, that's not how that works. If it was, businesses would be screaming and yelling about it. But anyways, please follow me here. Please follow me on my YouTube channel where a lot of the podcast material will be, which is youtube.com/@TimFullerton. We'll be launching on Wednesday. You'll be able to see that. You can also listen to the podcast where I'm interviewing the other White Dudes for Harris organizers. We're going to obviously talk about the election, what we could do moving forward. We're going to have a lot of great guests moving forward. And if you can afford it, would love you on. We're asking $5 a month for membership. That gives you a bunch of stuff, which you can look at politigoodpod.com. It's not quite ready yet, so there'll be more stuff up tomorrow. But anyways, thank you very much, everybody. Please follow me if you haven't. This has been awesome. I'm so glad we had so many. I'm going to keep doing these. I'm not going away. I just need a little break to recoup. And we will talk. I probably will be back tomorrow night to talk about the podcast. So thank you, everybody. Thank you on both sides who are respectful. And have a good night. And we'll see you soon.